Okay, hey guys, it's Esper, and I'm here with the video you probably want out of this tutorial, which is the OBS tutorial and settings. So first thing you're going to need to do is go to download OBS at obsproject.com/download. I'll put the link down in the description. And it's right here. You need to download the installer and open it up in whatever folder you have it. I've downloaded it earlier and put it in this folder. And you're going to need to click the application to install it and just go through this. Right, my OBS is running. So you need to go through that. Next, agree, and put it in whatever folder you want it in, whichever drive you want it in, and make sure that this is ticked, because this is what you need to make alerts pop up on stream. So since I already have OBS set up, we're just gonna get right down to it. Alright, I think the most logical way to do this is to go through it left to right, and I'll explain to you what everything does in OBS. So first we have your scenes, which is a compilation of sources. So what you want to do for your first scene, this is my setup already, and you're going to add, and then you're going to click a scene. I suggest having a more descriptive title than scene 1. So you may want to do game scene, and then you press OK. It'll create a brand new scene for you with no sources. So now this is the second panel, which is the sources, and you could do the same thing. You could do right click, add, and pick one of these, or you can go down here at the bottom and it'll do the same exact thing. So what you want to do is you add a source. So this is your game scene. You're going to add a game capture. And I already have one set up here, but let's say I wanted to stream and have a separate scene for RimWorld. I will do that and I'll press OK. And you can pick whether you want to capture a specific window, capture any full screen application. For my game scene, I just capture any full screen application. And over here, you want to pick whether you want to show the cursor or not. And you want to pick whether it would do third-party overlays. Generally, I don't, because I usually message people and I don't want to show my Steam overlay. So this is all up to you. You can limit capture frame rate. And yeah, that's the basic gist of creating a scene. And then the most important one that I really want to talk about is your browser source. So what I use for my browser source is Streamlabs. So let me just close this and delete that. Close that scene and go to Streamlabs. So I've logged into my bot account, and I will help you go through all of the settings that you need for Streamlabs. So right now you have your dashboard, and this will tell you who followed, who subs. You're not going to need that for now anyway. Donations and bits, which are only, these two are only for partnered Twitch streamers. So follows and donations is really what you're concerned with right here. And this is where you edit all of the alerts that you have. And you're going to see a link right here, which you will copy and paste into OBS. So you're going to go to a browser source, and let's say I want to create a source for follows. And you will have to put the link in. So untick this and make sure that you're only clicking follows. Copy and paste that, and then you go in here, you paste that, and depending on the art or overlay, whatever you choose to put in, you're gonna have to put in the dimensions of it. Since I haven't put anything in, there's no dimensions that I can put in, so I'm just gonna keep it like that, and that should give you an alert when somebody follows. Let's test it. So yeah, that's the basic gist of putting in a browser source. So you're gonna need to make all of your sources in here and put in individual ones. Like you see, I have different ones for chat, donations, event lists, and follow. So event list is a really cool feature that Streamlabs has, and I kind of compound all of my alerts on this one. So it will tell you follow, subscription, test, donation, host, bits. So that's a really good feature of Streamlabs. And it's up to you what sources you want to add in. You can add GIFs like I have here for my starting screen. You can have images. This is actually an image. This is not text. I made this in Photoshop, and you can move elements around in OBS just by clicking the preview and clicking the item. So I'll show you on one of my game scenes where I have a webcam, which is unticked right now. My follows, which just pops up a name, my event list, donations, my game capture, which is the whole thing, and my chat, which is also not showing. So it's up to you what you want to put and how you want to structure your scene. If you want to add in overlays, you're going to have to add more image files that go in, and that's a lot more going into customization. And that's pretty much all I have for sources. Now we move on to the mixer. The mixer allows you to manage the levels of your mic and your desktop audio. So if you're finding that a lot of your audio is mismatched, your mic is too loud, your game volume's too high, you can go ahead and move these around. I do a lot of my audio on my side. I don't use OBS for it, but there are quite a few helpful tools that OBS has, and they have some audio filters, which I will show you right now. So if you want to add gain, you can pick here how many decibels you want. Delete that just in case I forget. And you could also add noise suppression. And you pick a decibel that you find comfortable. A lot of this is testing it out and seeing what works for you, because your noise level may not be somebody else's noise level. And then lastly, you have noise gate, which you have an open and close threshold. And what this means is that anything above a certain decibel will get filtered out. Well, it'll get compressed down to like a lower decibel. Your volume won't go up to the volume above that. I don't actually use the noise gate for OBS. I have my own compressor and noise gate, which I run right here, Reaper. But I'm not going to go into that in this video series. Once I do the next video series on how to improve your stream, I'll go through that. But for now, if you're finding that your noise levels are too high, too low, the OBS tools will suffice. So right here we have scene transitions. What this means is that when you switch from one scene to the other, there's going to be an animation that plays. So here we have fade. There are quite a few more. You can add them. They're right here. If you don't automatically see them, I had to add these. Anything that's not cut and fade, I had to add. So swipe, which means it'll just change the animation from fading into swiping. You could also change the direction in which it swipes. And that's pretty much it for all of the panels and the transition. Now we're going to go here, which are the buttons you need for streaming. So we have start streaming, start recording, studio mode, settings, and exit. So for start streaming, we're not going to touch that yet. I need to go through a few settings with you before I even tell you to start up your stream. So we're going to ignore these two for now. Studio mode just does this. I don't actually ever use this. I'm not going to explain it to you because you don't need it. Settings is where we're going to get started now. So your general settings, you pick your language, dark or default, and I don't really touch any of these anymore. So I have the streaming services here. I use Twitch for my streaming, and I pick a server. So sometimes you'll have trouble streaming through one server and you just pick the next closest one to you. And you have a stream key. You can see right here my stream key is blocked out. And I mean it when I say do not give this to anybody. Do not let anyone see your stream key. Do not share it. Do not tell anyone what it is, because it lets them stream on your account. And you could potentially get in a lot of trouble if somebody gets a hold of your stream key and does bad things with it. So don't do it. Don't give it to anybody. Now, I'm going to show you how to get your stream key. Which you're like, Esper, didn't you say just not to show anybody what our stream key is? This is not my streaming account. This is an account that I have specifically for this video and when I was messing around with some settings. So you're at your dashboard. If you don't know how to go to your dashboard, it is just twitch.tv/your-name/dashboard. And you're going to go up here. So you have live editing, activity stats, video stats, stream key. That's what you want. You're going to get your stream key and you're going to show your key. It says it right here. Never share your stream key with anyone or show it on stream. And then I understand. So here's the key. You would copy that and paste it into your OBS settings right here. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess up my stream key, but that's what you would do. And if you ever need to reset your stream key, whether it's you're having trouble streaming, somebody somehow got a hold of it, you just reset your key. And that's it. Alright, so let's move on to the rest of the settings, which is your output, which is probably the most important part of your OBS settings. So this is what it's normally going to show you when you have the output mode on simple. So depending on how you want to do your settings, I have advanced. You can honestly do everything you need from the simple settings. So we'll go from there. 3500 is the maximum bitrate for non-partnered streamers, and 4500 is the max for partnered streamers. Yeah, so it says it right here. However, you can unenforce the streaming service bitrate limits, which means it'll allow you to stream over 3500 bitrate. Personally, I don't want to stream over 3500 because some people don't have as good of an internet as you might have, and they won't be able to watch the stream. Being an unpartnered streamer means that you don't have quality options most of the time unless you reach a certain number. Twitch has been better with this recently. Encoding options are being given out to more and more people, so it's a lot more accessible to stream at a higher bitrate. But I don't recommend going any higher than 3500 because I don't honestly think that it adds too much to the stream unless you have a really weak computer that can't do good encoding, and I'll get into that later. So your encoder is going to be X264. My audio bitrate is set to 160. You could go all the way up to 320. I personally don't mess too much with my audio. I have the filters that go through my mic, and that's about it. Yeah, so those are my audio filters. And then, okay, so the encoder preset. The higher, it says it right here, higher equals less CPU. So when you're picking a preset, I think it's set to very fast by default. I've lowered mine to faster, which means that it uses more CPU and your output looks a lot better. So that's what I was saying with the bitrate. Let's say you want to go very fast and 4000 bitrate. Then you're kind of compensating for the less CPU power that you use with a higher video bitrate. So I use more processing power and less bitrate. Because depending on the bitrate that you use, depends on how much the person on the other end watching is able to download and watch. So it's a balance, and a lot of people debate about it. Find your sweet spot and just stick with it. That's my advice. Okay, so I don't have any custom encoder settings, and this is the recording path, which I'm not going to go through. So audio, you just pick your desktop device. I have it to default. And then for my mic, I have a normal device. And then I have my virtual audio cable, which is the mic that I'm using right now, ran through Reaper. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is hotkeys. This is really helpful because it lets you switch scenes very, very quickly. And I'm going to demonstrate to you. I think I have to be clicked out of OBS to do this, so I'm just going to click in right here. So I have a few things that are on hotkeys. Well, actually, all of my scenes are on hotkeys. So it lets you switch very quickly to the scenes that you want. So let's say you're in the middle of a game. This is my game scene. I'm clearly not playing a game right now, so it's just black. And you have to go to the bathroom, and you say, hey chat, I'm sorry, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And you have an intermission screen that lets your viewers know that you have gone for 2 minutes and you will be right back. This is more of a quality of life type of thing. It makes it just much easier for you to manage your OBS settings and your stream. I also recommend having a mute key. So you have mute desktop audio for me is numpad plus, and mute mic is numpad minus. Make sure you set a mute and unmute, because if you set a mute and don't set an unmute, you're probably going to not be talking to your stream. So that is pretty much everything that you need to know for OBS. This is a much longer video than before. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask. down in the comments. I will be happy to reply to you. And yeah, that's it for this video. All my links are down in the description. I will see you later. Bye.